Hey Kscopers, thanks for tuning in. Kevin and I are interviewing again this year. So Kevin, say hello.
Hi everyone, how you doing?
So we're coming from the Sheraton in New Orleans for Kscope 13, hashtag Kscope 13, on Canal Street. I'm honored to be interviewing Mr. Mark Rittman. It's been a mainstay in the BI community for years. Mark, how's Kscope 13 treating you so far?
Very good, very good. Been some good presentations today. We had the BI Symposium yesterday, which was very well organised by Kevin. So yeah, it's been very good so far.
And so how's the tea over here in the US? Is it good?
Tea, right, okay. The only thing that Kscope can improve is making a decent cup of tea. So you need hot water and a kettle, basically. But other than that, it's very good after the tea.
So to be fair, though, I think it's pretty much the entire US, not just Kscope, that can't make good tea, right?
Because your power isn't strong enough, you see, so you can't buy the kettle. So
the plugs don't stay in.
The plugs don't stay in, and your power isn't enough, really. So come to the UK and we'll show you a decent cup of tea.
So you're going to be presenting on how to make a proper cup of tea?
Well, I've changed my presentation. We're going to do that this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just slide in 15 minutes of proper tea preparation at the beginning of OBIEE, Endeca, and Oracle R Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have R predicts how well the cup of tea will be made.
I think we can guess, actually. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to move along because we're losing the audience.
Okay.
So tell us about your first presentation. It's OBIEE, Endeca, and Oracle R. What's that going to focus on?
So it's quite a kind of hopefully an interesting session. It's really about how Exalytics, which everyone thinks of as being just a kind of way of hosting OBIEE, can actually host Endeca, Oracle R Enterprise, and Hadoop querying as well. So we're going to go through an end-to-end demo. We're going to build out a kind of system, or we're going to see a system built that has some Endeca elements there, some R elements, and some Hadoop elements, querying the flight delays data set. So it's really to show how this platform can analyze all different types of data sources, not just OBIEE ones.
Great, and your other presentation is about the new 11.117 features with regards to OBIEE and Essbase.
Yep, exactly. So a lot of people have been waiting a long time for proper integration between OBIEE, EPM Suite, and Essbase. So what we're going to talk about is how the 11.117 release can allow you to run Workspace within OBIEE, allows you to have integration between security of the two systems, and we're going to basically do a state of the nation kind of look at how the integration works between these two platforms.
So I know you've done the state of the nation on this integration in the past. So what's different now? I mean, I know that you've mentioned Workspace and that, but I mean, where are we at? What's the major improvements?
So the major difference this time around is Essbase and OBIEE are sharing the same security model. So prior to that, you can query Essbase data from OBIEE, but the security models are quite different, and there is no easy way to define application roles and basically security profiles across the two platforms. So the big difference now is they both use Fusion Middleware Security, and you can define application roles that give you filters in Essbase and filters in OBIEE, all in one kind of way of doing it. But the important distinction is understanding not just how that works, but how the main EPM suite still runs standalone as well. So Essbase now runs in two modes. There's the integrated with OBIEE mode, and then there's a standalone mode for shared services and planning and so on. So I'll be covering off how those things work in the presentation.
Great. So two great presentations. You go to a lot of conferences. What's sort of special about Kscope for you?
What's special about Kscope? Well, obviously the venues are always good. So we're in New Orleans this year. Last year it was in Texas and so on. I think for me it's the quality of the presentations. They're very kind of hands-on, very technical. We've got a fantastic audience from across the world, I suppose, really.
Right.
But
30 countries.
Oracle are here as well. So really, it's the quality of the presentations and also the social side as well.
Great. So how many is this for you? Do you know how many Kscopes?
I think I always count it by the amount of times that England gets knocked out of the World Cup early, because every time it's in Washington,
There's
quite a few. Yeah, I think about 6, 7, 8 years now.
So back to the 1960s, right?
Yeah, so every 2 years we get knocked out early from the World Cup or from the European Championships, and I always kind of count it by those really. So yeah, because they're always on at the same time as Kscope.
All right. So what do you think is the reason? We hear this. Kevin and I interviewed people last year, and we always ask this question. So yes, we have the best content every year. Why is that? What do you think? What's your guess?
I think it's down to the way the papers are selected. I think it's down to the involvement of Oracle. I think it's down to the genuine interest from the board and from kind of people who run ODTUG in having good content. I think it's because the people that run it really care, and the people they attract are really good. So generally, apart from our event, our BI Forum. I think it's probably the best kind of BI event that runs each year, really.
I agree.
Excellent.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. So with Mark Rittman from Rittman Mean, Kevin McGinley, Stewart Bryson, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kscopers.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark.